guys, hopefully you guys had a fun day kerning yesterday, playing your kerning game. I'm just interested to see your scores. As you can see, my little ladybug is watching today. She didn't want to say hi though, but she does want to know what I'm doing. She was wondering what I was going to pull out for y'all because her teachers, I guess, pull out things in their videos. But today we're actually going to talk about legibility and readability. So these are our objectives for the day. First of all, we're going to define legibility and readability. You'll know what those mean for design. We're going to understand the importance of legibility and, wow, this should say readability. Isn't this nice that I can fix this while I'm talking to you? Readability and design. Analyze some designs to judge their legibility and readability, and then we're going to create a piece of work showcasing the do's and don'ts of legibility and readability. So let's get started. The first thing we're talking about is legibility. How well do you see the letters? This is Kinsley. She wants to come say hi too. Mom's got to teach though.
Okay.
So how well do we see the letters? Obviously, if you look at the top, there's a few things that are going to affect our legibility. I've talked to you guys about these things in the past, but we're going to analyze it a little bit more. So obviously, the font choice itself is going to affect the legibility. This one's nice and easy to read. This one gets a little stickier, and this one is obviously the stickiest of all. This looks like something that comes out of like an old Bible, if you've ever looked at those. But
Mommy.
legibility is important, and it's something most people will appreciate only when it's a problem. Obviously, the colors that you use affect that as well. This is very easy to read based off of the color differences. This is very hard to read. So here's a few fonts that kind of showcase that. And Gill Sans, the I, the L, and the 1 all look the exact same. So that can be kind of hard to understand. Gill Sans, their B and D and P and Q are mirror opposites, so another thing. But if you switch to another font like PT Mono over here, this is a serif font because it has the little feet. The I, L, and 1 are all unique. So obviously, we know this says India and lettuce. Those are easy words to understand, but some words won't be as easy to understand. So when does this come into real importance? Well, let's look at these two signs. This is saying danger, do not enter. Obviously, over here we've got a kind of crazy font. I think the designer was like, woohoo, let's make this fun. Well, obviously, if we don't want to enter somewhere, that should be clear and easy to read. So that is a fail on that designer's fault. Having something simple and easy to read makes more sense. Obviously, if we saw this sign, we might be like, we shouldn't enter. But we want to make that clear and easy to understand for everyone. So we talked about legibility, that's seeing the individual letters. Now let's switch over to readability. Readability is how easy it is to read. So smaller type is actually easier for most people to read. Sans serif and serif are just as legible as one another. All caps takes more time to read than this. So you don't want to write in all caps. We've also talked about that with personality, that you're yelling at people. So a lot of times you want to avoid that. This also takes longer to read. Using italics is going to take longer to read than just regular. And then this is harder to read. So that's when we're spacing things out. We talked about doing that with our kerning, tracking, and leading, then things that are just normal together. And then here we have a little image that kind of showcases this. Even legible fonts can make unreadable words. So switching up fonts too often or using capitals in weird places can also make it hard to read. Also using hyphens at times can make it really, really hard to read. So you want to think through those things. Readability with words continued. Very short lines are hard to read, just as well as very long lines. So if you're ever reading in class and you have something with really long lines, if you're reading out loud, you're probably going to underline the words. Here, I'll underline up here by you, so that you don't miss it. Those are not good things. You want to break them into sections. This text here is also a problem because it's too large to be readable in blocks. So if you're going to do a short blocks like this, you want to use a smaller font. And I guess I should use my mouse, not my finger. I'm getting used to this, guys, so hopefully I'll get better. All right, so what are you guys going to do with this assignment? I want you to look through your fonts on your iPad and create a document showcasing 5 extremely legible fonts and 5 extremely illegible fonts. And then write a story for me to read showcasing these fonts. This can be a real story, it can be a fake story, whatever you want it to be. I want you to try to make the illegible sections hard to read using the fonts, capitalizations, and spacing, what I did over here on this page with this. If the font is crazy, just like this one, you can just write the sentence as it is. Make sure that it is at least 10 sentences long, and there is one sentence at least per font. Hopefully you guys have fun with this, make your story creative, and I can't wait to talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.